All right, guys, so are you suffering with that dreaded chicken wing in your golf game that's causing poor strikes, loss of speed, loss of distance and accuracy? If so, in this video, I've got my 5 top causes for the chicken wing and some great solutions to help you get it fixed. So firstly, what is the chicken wing? Well, that's when we're coming into the golf shot and our arms and our elbows will begin to separate through the shot, causing, like I just said, a whole host of issues when it comes to your golf shot. So the first main cause I would look out for is your club face angle at the top of the golf swing. So if you've got a club face that's open at the top of the swing, which would be looking more down to the ground like this, that can then start to cause some issues in the downswing as we start to try and square that club face up at impact. So if the club's open, what we'll typically do, instead of swinging more from the inside out, if we do that, you'll notice now my club face is wide open. So if I hit the ball in this position, you'll see it's going to go a long way to the right. So what we do as athletes, we will do what we need to do to start that ball on line. So typically that tends to be casting the club, coming more over the top in an effort to get that club face square to your target line and start the ball on line. But as you can see, that's going to cause a whole host of issues at impact, leading to loss of compression, strike inconsistencies and loss of distance. So let's look at that first cause. So 2 things that can cause that really. Firstly is the grip. So just ensure that you've got a really sound grip, more in those fingers, more in the fingers here and less in the palms. If it's in the palms, it's really going to inhibit how you can really get that club face square or closed at the top. And certainly coming into impact, you're going to have to do some really funky things with those wrists in order to get that club face square. So typically that's going to result in this more casted and then scooped position, which then has a knock-on effect of the chicken wing through the shot. So that's the first thing, guys, check your grip. Second, if you've got a sound grip and you've still got an open club face and still coming over the top, then we're going to have to look at the wrist. I've got here the use of hack motion just to give me some additional feedback. And so what you'll notice here, I'll hit a shot with my wrists more cupped to the top, leaving to a more open club face. And you'll see the numbers here. So you notice there at the top of the swing, that was more extended there at 53 degrees, which is not really what we're looking for. And you'll see as we come through then that purple line, which is this supination, this release, if you like, of the forearm, starts to, well, it actually stops in an effort to stop that club facing left and the ball going to the left. So that's why we start to get these high, weak shots out to the right when players are chicken winging from an open club face position. So let's check your wrists at the top of the swing, assuming you've got a good grip now, so you can go to the feels of maybe a reverse motorcycle. So if you're revving a motorcycle, imagine you was doing it the opposite way with your left hand, and that's going to really help you get that club face in a much better position, so that when we get to the top now, what you notice, much more compression. You'll see exaggerated there now at -2 inflection at the top of the golf swing. So that's number 1. Number 2 is an out to in club path. So again, typically if we start to see an open club face, we'll tend to want to swing out to in an effort to get that club face square. And now from here, instead of releasing, and this is why a lot of people fear that release through the shot, fear that club face squaring up, because they're often coming from an out to in path. If they do square the face up from there, they're going to get a big shot out to the left there. So what is the compensation to that? We want to start the ball on line. So yep, you got it. As we come through, we then separate our arms, separate our elbows in an effort to stop that ball going left. Keep the club face staring at your target. That leads to the chicken wing. That leads to that loss of distance, compromised strike. And again, you'll see here the purple graph from P7, which is impact, through to position 8 here, just after impact, a rotation of just 38 degrees. And you see that line, the purple line there, at impact doesn't get back to 0 and basically stops. And so that's again a result of fearing that release. So that's cause number 2. A wonderful fix there for that out to in path. If you've got a good club face, a good grip, good wrists, 430 path, something you can take straight to the driving range. Imagine here you've got a clock face around you. This would be 12 o'clock on the clock face, this would be 3 o'clock, and you can pop a golf club or an alignment rod here at this 430 position for the right-handed player. And all you're trying to do from here, making some swings to the top of the swing, and then just getting those arms to fall down and get that club to match up to that 430 path. You can visually see it. I love this one. And from here, you can just make some slow rehearsals to the top, back to the 430 path, swinging that out towards to the right, and then starting with slow shots to the top, 430 path, and just really exaggerating that feel. And that's going to really help you start to get your club traveling more from inside out. And again, you can see here on that graph, just that little shot, 70 degrees from impact through to the follow through here. And that purple line starts to, now that chicken wing's going, So let's look at the cause first. Number 3 is mobility. So if you've got a lack of mobility through this area, through the elbow, through the forearms, through the wrist, that could really inhibit your ability to, of course, reduce the chicken wing. So let's check that as well. So it may not be completely your fault, but oftentimes I don't see this as a main issue. But please do get that checked out, get this, maybe do some yoga, maybe see a medical or fitness professional that can really open up this area and give you access to some of these movements. Again, that's going to help you reduce that chicken wing and reduce the likelihood of injury. Number 4 is the body stalling through impact. Again, this tends to be due to what's happened before. So if we've got a open club face, if we've got an out in club path, then we're not going to really be incentivized to continue rotating through the shot because we might miss the ball. We're going to get very steep on the ball. So the reaction tends to be the body stalling, where we now stop the body and bring our arms back in an effort to try and get the strike and start the ball online. But again, that will then lead to a chicken wing typically on the way through. So assuming you've got some of those other causes sorted out, then you can start to work on opening the body, the sensation of rotation through impact. One of my favorites for this, again, you can take straight to the driving range, is the impact fix drill. So from here, taking your normal setup, just understanding the difference between setup and impact is huge. So this would be my setup position. Impact would be pelvis opening, left leg straight, a little bit of the shaft lean, lead knuckles down to the ground a little bit here. And you'll see, you can also use Hack Motion as a great training tool, coaching tool on Hack Motion to get you into some good impact positions as well. And you can see from here, setup, impact, setup, impact. And you'll notice my pelvis from this down the line view, setup, very square on, impact, setup, impact. Now my pelvis is open. I haven't opened up my shoulders, just my pelvis, a little bit of shaft lean here, wrists in a good position. And you can take this a little step further and make a little mini backswing from here, halfway back and through. Just trying to feel impact. I find this a great one, just to get that sensation of the hips opening. And you can just start slow with this, little shots. Set up, impact, little backswing. Really getting that feel of an open position through impact. And then you can take that into full swings if you like as well, starting from setup into impact, full backswing. And that's just a great one to give you that sensation. And then finally, guys, is number 5 is tension and overthinking. Lots of times players are nervous over the shot and very tense, all through the shoulders, all through the forearms, all through the wrists, along with lots of thoughts in the head, lots of mechanical thoughts, which we don't want when we're playing golf out there on the golf course. On the range, it's a good time to practice these things, but when you're on the golf course, less thoughts, the better. So what we want to do to try and reduce that tension and that overthinking is, again, something you can do at the range, is just grab your golf club and just trial some different grip pressures. So just have a little play around and maybe make some swings out in front of you with some different grip pressures and just see which one allows that folding of the lead arm, that natural release here. See which grip pressure allows that. If it's too tense still, you might get this separation again between the elbows versus letting that club just release naturally. If you're just going to swing a stick, you just let that release there. So just finding the grip pressure that gives you adequate control of the club. We don't want it too light, of course, because you see the long drive hitters, they're not holding that golf club light, that's for sure. So, but finding that right grip pressure for you that allows good access to the club and a good release. So less tension through here, the better. And in terms of the overthinking, something you can do in your pre-shot routine, just take a breath or two before the shot, and that's just going to help you get a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more focused over the ball, less tension. You can even have a little waggle here just to reduce some of that tension, and then fire. So guys, there's my top 5 causes for the chicken wing, some wonderful solutions to that. Would love you to give those a try. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, share that with a friend if you think it's helpful, and also if you'd like to improve your game further and learn more about wrist mechanics, check out the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.